and welcome to Math for Today. Now, okay, you guys know that math is 100%, well, really, like, you can do any of this stuff from now until Wednesday or Tuesday, and it's like totally optional for you. But I have some stuff that I think would be cool for your math brains to continue developing over the next couple days. And like, I don't know, like if you're just like not really doing much maybe at home and you feel like doing something, then, you know, math is a good thing for your brain to do. It's only going to help you. So this is my plan for the next couple of days, is to give these like kind of like random review pages, which are related to what we've done this year, of like a multitude of different skills. So hopefully that kind of just like really, because like ultimately math, like you're not just only doing like, realistically, you wouldn't just ever having me needing to use like one form of math in your life, right? Like today isn't like the week that we're doing graphs and the next week is the week we're doing decimals. Like that's not actually realistic. We really would be doing these skills like continuously throughout your life, depending upon the situation that you happen to be in. So it's good to have these kind of things like there, kind of like ready to use and ready to go, like more tools to pull out of your back pocket, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna show this, and they're kind of fun. You guys might recognize this. We've done a couple of these little ones before. We did one for like decimals, like it's called this like math Olympics, like math sports thing. Okay, I really like it. So first one, and this I'm gonna give you like, I don't know, I have like 4 of these pages that I just have selected for like day 1, which is today. So the first one, which is really helpful, like understanding, because you probably hear people like, oh yeah, that's like 2 meters away. Oh, he's about like 6 feet tall. Well, like, what even is that? Like, what are those actual references for like a meter, a foot, an inch? Because we, like Canada, deals with the metric system, which is like meters, kilometers, centimeters. But then there's many other countries in the world, like the US, deals with the imperial system, which is like yards and feet and pounds. So it's a funny thing to have to hear these different things and then compare them. And then there's some countries that actually do like a blend of all of them. And you can even ask your parents like what mathematical system is used in our country. And truly in Canada, it's really weird because it's a mix between imperial and metric. So like when a baby is born, they typically say, oh yeah, the baby is like 5 pounds, 6 ounces, but that's actually an American system. And then they'd say, okay, how tall are you? Oh, I'm like 5'6". That's American. But then when we talk about distance, we always use kilometers rather than miles. And in the US, they'd use miles. I bet that Quinn and Ryan are kind of thinking, yeah, like that's what we did here. That's what we've heard about. And then in the UK, it's typically, it's typically more like meters. At least I think it's kind of like seeming to become a bit more convention these days. I could be wrong though. So yeah, ask your parents what's used in your home country. Okay, so alrighty. So this one, okay, so it is called Dive into Math. Look at the pictures and answer the questions. Use the conversion chart at the bottom of the page to help compute your answers. Okay, so there's this beautiful conversion page or chart, okay, table. 1 foot is 12 inches. So an inch is like this, kind of like half of your pinky would be like about an inch, roughly. Depends how big your pinky is, I guess. And then, yeah, 1 foot. So if you think of like your parents are probably like someone who's tall would be like 6 feet tall. Like Miss Jamie, she's tall. She's Mr. Dave, they're like 6 feet tall. So a foot is kind of like typically the way it came up was like the measurement of like someone's like foot. So it's like this kind of deal. Like I don't know, as wide as your, like maybe not as wide as your shoulders, around a foot. And then a meter, you guys know a meter, right? We have meter sticks. So you kind of have that visual reference anyway in your mind. So what they're asking is to convert these different measurements here. So how many inches does the diver on platform 1 fall before he hits the water? Okay, so you got to figure out where's platform 1, how far does he fall before he hits the water? So it's like, it's really good. This is like interpreting a situation and then applying the math skills to be able to figure out the answer. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you can use a calculator for this. Go for it. Or if you want to do like long division or long multiplication, go for it. Okay. So that's the first one. Next one. A math regatta. So that's like sailing. So for this one, this is to do with a unit that we did before e-learning started. I think this was in like just when actually Ibrahim and DR were joining us. We were doing this unit. So kind of like January type thing. So help these captains find their boats by matching the triangle names on their flags to the sails on their boats. Draw a line from each captain to his or her boat. Read the triangle tips for help. Hopefully you don't even need to have these tips. Kind of block your mind from the tip to the bottom. See if you can do it anyway. Okay, there you go. Okay, cool. So that's a nice, excellent review. The next one is World Cup Computation. All right. Who qualifies for soccer's World Cup? Math holds the answer. Add up the points, and this is totally true. Like, this is a lot of how they actually figure out point rankings of different countries or different for like Olympics. I was even talking about this the other day with someone. So, okay, so here, and this is interesting. Okay, so they have, this is important, the point box. A win, a loss, and then a draw, which is a draw is the same thing as a tie. So then you got to figure out, this is doing a little bit of, it's doing a bit of like, I guess it's kind of like doing BEDMAS or PEMDAS, right? From our like very first unit of the year. Okay, so I'll leave that to you. Then you have to rank them. Okay, so there you go. Who earned the most, who earned the least. Cool. All right, and then I think this is our last one for today. Math on track, and might be the hardest for the day as well. So this is a kind of like Formula One racing kind of thing. So a driver completes 14 laps in 16 minutes and 48 seconds. Again, this is excellent because you have to be able to convert from time. You have to be able to convert from seconds into minutes to get the same base level, right? Because you have to get them to the same unit. You can't like figure it out if you're doing 16 and then 48. You have to combine them into a common unit first. How much time does it take for him to complete one lap? Okay. So they tell you, they give you a little bit of hints. First, this is super important, convert the minutes into seconds, right? We'd always go from the highest unit into the lowest unit, and then we'd use the lowest unit as our groundwork to then do the actual math. And then once you have that big number, then you can always divide back into minutes. Same thing if it was hours, you'd choose to put it into minutes, possibly even into seconds, right? Okay. So then divide the number of seconds by the number of laps. So they pretty much spell it out for you. You could even see if you want to challenge yourself without using the formula. So if you can figure it out, then maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to go back and check. That'd be really, really, really good, like good work for your brain to do it without looking at this and then confirming you have it right, seeing their formula. Alrighty, so this is a hard one. I'm just going to leave it up to you guys to read it, but all totally grade 6 and excellent stuff to think about. So you have to, part of the key thing is understanding what the questions are asking. Okay, so you even go back to the very beginning of the year, highlight, underline, keywords, think about practically what is happening here. And then when you get an answer, think about it. Does my answer make sense in the context of the question? Does it even make sense? Okay, so I'm going to put this onto Edmodo and onto Seesaw. I'm just gonna go over this with you guys on Sunday. So challenge yourself and then we'll go over it. So I'm not gonna say you have to hand this in because I'm not gonna mark it because report cards are done. But it's just for your brains. Okay, so have fun and see you guys at 10 o'clock for our sharing of our idioms that you guys have created. I'm excited to see those. Okay, good luck. See you soon.